Fire investigators also on the scene. They say they don't know the cause of this fire yet, and that fire is still too hot to go inside. Fire crews are not only having to battle the Bryant wildfire, but they're also having to deal with lots of other issues, including thick vegetation, dry conditions, and treacherous terrain. And Dave, we're taking a look at a catalytic converter right now, and that's right up here, just right underneath your car. Medford breweries in the area are drumming up business with Local Beer Week underway. Find out what some of those breweries are doing today. We'll give you a hint. One of them is playing Jenga. And one of the keys here is having an emergency preparedness kit on hand and in place, and that's what we have here this morning. We have water, we have food, we have a blanket. Now, he says he chose to testify because he wanted the public to know his story. Caldera is just one local Ashland business that's only serving water upon request. Let's give it a try. Hold on, I'm gonna step back here and swing.
Polish dogs and all of it. I wonder what's the most popular.
I don't know that, Ron. Which one do you like?
I like Polish dogs.
I'm a regular hot dog fan. Peter Cottontail will soon be hopping around the bunny trail, and that means it's time for Easter, and along with Easter, lots of Easter candy. Here in just a couple of hours, these doors will open and patients for the first time will be allowed inside of the new clinic. Fire crews are now calling this fire another suspicious fire because of the time it broke out and the way it broke out. Fire crews are still on the scene here working on putting this fire out. It first started as a grass fire on this side of the railroad tracks and then skipped the railroad tracks, got into some pear shipping boxes, and those flames 40 feet, 50 feet high around 3:45 a.m. They're sweet, creamy, delicious, and chances are you probably had them in your Easter basket. Your kids might have them now. We're out here at Branson's Chocolate in Ashland, where, yes, indeed, we are talking about making the infamous chocolate Easter bunny. And I'm here with Dina Branson. And Dina, how do we go about making one of these little fellas?
You start with a mold, and then we're going to actually take some tempered milk chocolate here. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to fill the mold. And once you get the correct amount in there, you're going to take the two sections, combine them, and then rotate it around so the chocolate evenly covers the mold. So, and
is this
get the other half.
It looks like, is it hollow on the inside?
It's semi-solid. So the mold itself is 3/4 full, or the bunny is half to 3/4 full, and it's about a 1/4 pound when we're done. So
we just kind of shake it and try to thin it all out right here?
You're covering all the sides, making sure there's no air bubbles in the mold. So, which I'm seeing one in the paw. So that's what I'm doing, is getting the air bubble out of the paw. So.
What happens if there's an air bubble?
You don't want a missing foot, do you? Because that's what happens, is it basically looks like there's part of the bunny is missing. So once we get all the air bubbles out, then we will put it in the cooler to harden the chocolate up and let it set, and then the bunnies are ready to come out of the mold.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dina, for being here with us this morning. And 76% of Americans say they actually go for the ears of the bunny first when they start to eat that chocolate Easter bunny. Live in Ashland, Randa Gore, Newswatch 12. Several fire crews still on the scene as they work to put out this fire. Now, right now, the fire's still smoldering, but we are seeing just a lot of smoke now, not so many flames, but there were flames actually just a few minutes ago that we could see, and fire crews, like we said, still out here working on putting this out. Now, no one was injured in this fire, but it was very big, very hot. When Medford Fire and Rescue first arrived on the scene, the flames were so big, so hot that they had to call for backup. It became a third alarm fire, which is very, very rare in this case. 11 engines from all around the area, including Jacksonville, Medford Fire District 3, Jackson County Fire District 5, as well as several others out here on scene earlier this morning.
A lot of times that's what we see in the early morning like this. There's not traffic coming by or anything, and so a fire may have a chance to kind of build in a building before somebody notices it. Then it's a lot bigger when we get here to try to put out.
This fire taking place at 5th and Fur, and there were power outages associated with this fire. Electrical crews were out here earlier working on helping to get that power back up and running. Now there's only one building that's left without power, and that is the Restore building right beside this warehouse. Now, we do know, the fire department does know who owns this building. However, they're not releasing the name of that person, but they do say there was stuff inside, and that made the building burn even hotter and faster. And this fire is still undergoing investigation. investigators on the scene right now, and they say as soon as it's clear to go inside, that they will be going in there and looking into what started this fire.
The investigators, of course, will move in after the firefighting itself is done. We still see the crews out there working on those smoldering spots you highlighted at the top of the hour. Do you have any idea of when that will be wrapped up, when the investigators can move in?
This will be going on all day. The road here, 1st Street between 4th and 5th Street in downtown Medford, that road will be closed the rest of the day as fire crews continue to work on putting out this fire, but fire crews say this will be an all-day process.
All right. Thanks, Randa.
At 9 a.m. this morning, a loud and energetic picket line was back at work, this time welcoming substitute teachers as they arrived for orientation.
Honor our line. Honor our line.
As 5 buses full of substitute teachers drove onto school grounds, picketers blocked their path, some even taking out their cell phones and holding them up to bus windows. Teachers say they're frustrated and they're ready to go back to the bargaining table today.
Get back to the board, get back to the table, and let's work. You know, we're here working, they're there working, so why aren't we meeting and working?
I want to go back to work tomorrow.
What we need is movement by the district and collaboration to get a fair contract and get back in the classroom with our kids.
The district says since contract negotiations didn't pan out as planned last night, they need to take these next couple of days to prepare the guest teachers coming in from all over the state.
We are very focused on having academic learning occur this next week. That's our goal every week.
Today at orientation, the guest teachers went over the Medford School District curriculum and emergency procedures. The district would not reveal how many substitutes there were, but did have this to say.
We have more than we need to run all of our classes.
The district says those teachers are prepared to stay for the duration of the strike.
These are all non-GMO crops.
Sitting on 22 acres, Whistling Duck Farm is just one GMO-free farm in Josephine County. But ballot measure 1758 is trying to make it where all farms in the county will be GMO-free.
This is our chance to make our local voice be heard. This measure will protect our food, our farms, and our families.
Look at that baby.
The problem is, it's illegal for the county to go GMO-free. Senate Bill 863 was recently signed into law, restricting any county from banning genetically modified crops, with the exception of Jackson County because their measure was on the ballot before January 31st. It's not illegal for Josephine County to put the GMO-free measure on the ballot, but nothing will change if it gets passed.
Well, it would be nothing more than an advisory vote, but wouldn't have the force of law.
It will be handed over to the court, and they'll decide where it goes from there.
I do anticipate a lawsuit, and I do anticipate that, the petitioners would bring an action and, frankly, probably name Josephine County as well as the state as defendants.
It's really imperative to maintain local sovereignty. You know, many constitutions guarantee local sovereignty and local control. And we believe firmly that it is our right to maintain local control of agricultural decisions.
GMO-free activists plan to enact the Home Rule Charter, giving voters the power to adopt and amend their own county government. But the county legal counsel says this will only work if it's a matter of county concern. And this is a matter of both county and state concern. We're out here at the Medford Railroad Park where I'm riding on a train right now. But to keep these trains chugging along for years to come, railroad officials say they need more volunteers.
Keep your feet on the running board and keep your hands in, please.
Princess Pat has been volunteering at the railroad park for the past 6 years.
9608, all aboard!
She's a conductor. Sitting in the back of the train, she can easily be spotted with a pink tiara on top of her hat.
Personally, I like being out here because it's a happy place and people are happy and we make them happy.
But to keep customers satisfied, the railroad park says it needs more volunteers.
If we don't have enough volunteers, then we run fewer trains and the lines get longer and people have to wait longer or they do something else.
Last year, the park saw more than 35,000 visitors. Now in its 33rd year of operation, it's seeing that same rush come back. The only problem is
all our volunteers are getting older, and as they get older, they can't work as hard.
this is why the park's asking the public to step up and volunteer. If you're interested, contact the Railroad Park. The only qualifications, you have to be a member of the Railroad Club. That's a $25 a year fee. You must also be at least 16 years of age and hold a valid driver's license. You will be taught how to properly operate a locomotive and be able to volunteer when the park is open.
You think they're getting something out of it. It's not just for me, it's for them.
This kind of volunteering makes you laugh and smile